A warm welcome to all of you. This is the 10th webinar in our Changemaker series. This webinar serves as an introduction for you on how to reinvent your business and how to pivot to new opportunities. And you'll use your newly acquired Changemaker skills, and we will touch on some of the entrepreneurial skills as well that you will need. So I'm Joseph Meiberg, business coach at the Time Factory. I'm the author of 2 coaching books. My aim is to make you a better leader. I firmly believe that we can make the future a better place. Our vision at the Time Factory reflects how we want to inspire action. Our purpose is to create an army of change makers. This to enable everyone to prosper. So what is a pivot? Let's go to our mural here and start you on what is a pivot. So the short definition is that a pivot allows you to get your revenue from a different space and place. So it originated in the venture capital space. This was when investors and business owners realized this initial plan is not working. So in essence, really, it follows the new venture creation process, and it needs lots of change management just to stay alive. So there are 2 main pivots. Stop what you're doing entirely and start something new, or you add something or you change something to your existing business model. So case studies here, we know all about Twitter. Twitter originally started as a platform called Odeo, meant to serve as a distribution channel, and socially networks started revolving around podcasts. It had to pivot when Apple took that business away from them. Yelp began as an automated email service. YouTube was once a dating site. So there are other ways to pivot. So how do you pivot? First off, you have to understand your core business. Okay, so if you're not sure what your core business is, a good way to find out is go and visit your key customers and your key suppliers. So what is happening in your space, in your environment between your suppliers, yourself, and your customers? What are they doing differently, and why are they doing it differently? So what can I do to add better value and to remain relevant? Ask them. In other words, to find out what your core business is, you have to peel away the layers of the onion until you get there to the middle portion. So every business has a core or a strategic competence for your skills or your services. For me, the big example of a pivot happened in 1908. Roald Amundsen of Norway planned an expedition to the North Pole. So he got scientists to share their time and equipment. He won a grant from the Norwegian Parliament, and he persuaded other backers to pour huge amounts of money into the project. So he borrowed a 400-ton 3-masted schooner called Fram, and he recruited men willing to risk their lives on the journey through the icy Bering Strait. So ordinary Norwegians cheered him on and say they can already imagine how he would plant their flag in a land where no one had ever been. Just before setting sail, of course, Amundsen got word that the Americans Robert Peary and Frederick Cook had beaten him to the North Pole. Now what? We all know how this happens in our own business. Amundsen's quandary is all too familiar to entrepreneurs. So launching an ambitious endeavor normally requires enormous support. You need to attract funding, you need to attract people, you need media coverage to build credibility. Well, and to get all of those things, you need a good story. The story usually focuses on a problem, a solution, a plan, a goal, and it highlights the talents of the leadership team, and you tell it with passion and conviction. So with any luck and some enthusiasm builds up around your story, the investors pile in, along with employees and other partners, and hopefully eventually customers. And then things stop to work. Perhaps a pandemic, perhaps a competitor moving faster. Then you need to pivot. Roald Amundsen recognized this. So when he heard that others had beaten him to the North Pole, he decided to change course, literally. It wasn't the route or the destination that mattered. This is what he told his fellow Norwegians, of course. From the beginning, His was a mission of scientific discovery, and he stayed true to that aim. Amundsen went on to become a hero, the first person ever to reach the South Pole.